YouTube, what's up, man? So we're now 38 days back into recovery process. My last video that I shot was like New Year's of this year, 2023, where I had a few months under my belt and how I was looking forward to, moving forward. Obviously, it was actually New Year's Eve, December 31st was the last video, and like I took them all down, right? Because I've been existing in this place of shame, of guilt, embarrassment, right, with myself, low self-esteem, low confidence, right? You name it, all that, everything low, boom, that's what it was. And that's a selfish place to be in, especially when there's tools all around to help lift us, to help bring us up, whether it's medical, whether it's spiritual help. There is help. Okay. For me in this journey, the storyline for me is alcohol and drugs, right? That's what usually brings me down to the point of almost feel like where I have nothing. It's alcohol and drugs. It's been the storyline from the beginning, which is I started making videos about 4 years ago. Obviously I relapsed. Next month will be like 1 year since I relapsed. I was coming up on 4 years. Obviously at that time, this year would have been 5 if I would have kept on, stayed on track. Obviously I got railroaded because of my selfish thinking, giving in to selfish desires and all that, forgetting who I was when I first got here. What I mean by got here is like when I first got to rehab, learned the program, applied the program, became a member, started to work on my on the spiritual life, the spiritual aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? When I started to do that and my life started to shift and go a different way, and it started to go for the positive, thus starting videos to help other people, right? Because other people might not have no problem with alcohol and drugs. So you might not have an alcohol or drug problem. You might have different problems, right? Whether it be a divorce, a breakup, whether it be just some fitness goals that you might have and you want to shred down and you want to cut up and you want to start to diet and stuff, like whatever your problems are, your problems, right? But we're not all different, you know what I'm saying? But the storyline for me has been alcohol and drugs. And when I started to live on the other side of that, on the positive side, how I started to implement the fitness, how I started to implement the service and helping of other people, right? Helping even if it was just with the video, even if it was just with some encouraging words, helping other people, because everybody got their own problems. For me, see, when things are happening to me, in my mind, they're the biggest problems in the world because they're happening to me. They're not happening to you. They're not happening to my neighbor, to my roommate, to whatever. Whenever they're my problems, they're the biggest problems in the whole world. And that's selfish thinking, because there's other people with massive, more difficult problems, if not harder, if not freaking worse, right? But again, whenever it's happening to us, it's like the biggest thing. But there is some, people got that, and I thank God for the discernment that He put in my spirit. But there's some people that surpass that and can really discern. You know what? This is happening to me, but this ain't. I get past this. And even though I've seen that experience in my life where I can look back and I can reflect and be like, dude, I've gotten past it. Whatever it was, a fear, a doubt, I can look back and I can say, man, I've gotten past this already. God's got me past this. I've overcome this already. Here it comes again in a different form, maybe in a different degree, maybe a little more severe, maybe not even as difficult as it was last time, but I've already overcome this. And instead of seeing it like, dude, it's like a hurdle, boom, I'm gonna overcome this. I'm gonna jump over this. Instead of seeing it that way, it's just seeing like, wow, this again, oh man, and just being wrapped up in here and letting it, just letting my energy drain, right? Again, I said there's people that, off the back, boom. And that comes with practice. That's maybe it's natural, but for somebody like myself, that definitely takes practice, because I'm not like the most, every a situation arises or difficulty arises, I'm not the most poised, I'm not the most wise one, right? But it takes practice, you know what I'm saying? Just like anything, to be good at anything, it just takes repetition, right? Love how Wes puts it, strength through repetition, right? That's how we, that's how we get stronger, right? That's how we build, what they say, build callous, right? Going through these situations, going through these circumstances, whatever circumstances you're in today, however your program's set up, and however you get through your problems and you get through your day and your stresses, how well you're able to apply that when you have to face things, will obviously determine the outcome, or just determine how you view it. If you know that you can't fix it in one day, you know that it's going to take a few days, a few weeks, or whatever the case. You're not tripping, you're not sweating it, you're not stressing on it. It comes, you analyze, it comes, boom, boom. Like you think about it. You're like, okay, to solve the problem, and then once you come up with the answer, hey, well, this shit can't get fixed today. There's nothing I can do about it today. Worry about it tomorrow, or this will be fixed in X amount of days. Boom, and you move past it. Now that's wisdom. Now that I'm not the best at, but like I said, it's practice. So for me right now, where I'm at 38 days sober, clean and sober again, man. Trust me, I've been 38 days sober a few times, right? And it's just like, however long I have been drinking before these 38 days, or off and on, because once you get sober, right, that's when life's gonna start. Because obviously when you're intoxicated, inebriated, or whatever the case be, it's kind of like, it's not like reality, right? It's not like, okay, this is like, it's kind of like you're just like in a different, obviously you're like not in your right mind, right? It's just kind of like you're not really there. It's like you're escaping. It's like an escape from reality. So getting sober, clean and sober, boom. Now we got to face the world. Now we got to face either whatever we done, whatever we said, and all that. And that could be horrendous, especially if it's alcohol or drugs, whatever. Excuse me, it could be horrendous. What I say, what I do, blah, 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 right? And if it's not alcohol or drugs, if it's just, like I mentioned a few of those other things earlier, once you're like, okay, this is what it is, I'm accepting of it, how am I going to move forward? That's when it starts, right? Once you're able to accept, try to figure out how you're going to move forward, that's when it starts. And how do we deal with this day-to-day thing? Because for the alcoholic and the addict like myself, my thoughts could be out of whack, my emotions are out of whack, because it's like a roller coaster throughout the day almost. Either I got to sit there, I got to pray, either I got to stop and try to pause and try to be like, just try to reflect, try to go to the source. Dude, I need some clarity. I need some, or my mind just runs rapid and I'm just consumed, and my energy, I'm just drained because I'm just consumed with these thoughts. And it could be, it's the book, our book talks about we suffer from delusions. We're full flight. You know what I'm saying? My thinking, I have like a broken brain almost, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, 100 forms of fear and all that. And I'm not here to promote recovery or anything like that, because it doesn't need promoting. But this is just in general, man. Like, this is the program. I'm in a 12-step program. This is what I know. This is what I've learned. This is what I try to apply today. 38 days, kind of getting some clarity, but I can't really say. I don't feel how I did 38 days ago when I came off of that horrendous bender. We're talking a few days, and it's not to brag. It's just to let you know, like, I was not okay. And then even after I stopped drinking or whatever the case, the detox, that was horrific, right? This was like one of the worst detoxes I've ever experienced. And I won't even get into that, but just know I went through that, for days, several days, 3 or 4 days of detoxing, right? Because I couldn't shut this down, right? I was just, so, and then getting sober, getting rest, and coming back in, especially knowing that before, it's like, dude, sometimes our ego and our pride can keep us out there, could keep me out there. You know what? I've done it once. I'm not willing to go through this no more, man. F it, F everything, right? I've already lost it all, so why now? But guess why now? Because all we have is right now. So we're gonna save some more topics for a different video. I just want you to know, man, 38 days. I certainly don't have the most wisdom to give, especially right now, but I get somebody with 2 weeks, somebody with 2 days that I could share with. How am I even here 38 days later? I could share with that person, just like you could share with the next person. If you've been doing this for some time, whether in whatever aspect of your life that you do see success and you have overcome struggles, you can definitely help somebody else with that. Whether you got 2 years, They got 2 months, you got something valuable to share. If you got 2 years and they got 18 months, you got something to share. You know what I mean? So let's do that. We always got to spread that knowledge on what we know, and just try to be our best selves with the day-to-day assignment. I find that when I try to just stick till today, what I could do best today, I don't have to worry about tomorrow. I don't got to think about the past, because it's usually where I live, in the past and in the future. I'm never present. You know what I'm saying? And this is all mindset training, man. Appreciate you guys. To the next one.